Politico reported this week that Gavin Newsom is scrambling to make up for the fact that two major refineries in California are leaving the state. Now, Gavin Newsom and California Democrats can't possibly be surprised by this when they've spent the last several years doing everything they could to drive oil and gas companies out of the state. First, with things like insane lawfare, where they have tried to hold oil and gas companies accountable financially for things like weather events and things like the LA wildfires that we know oil and gas companies had nothing to do with, but also through policies that have driven up costs for oil and gas companies and made it more difficult for them to operate in the state. Now they are taking cues and leaving, and Gavin Newsom has to face the fact that prices are going to go up for Californians to access energy, to do everything from drive their cars to heat their homes, and they're scrambling. That leads us to this incredible Orange County Register editorial, Californians Sour on Green Policies. Now, in this editorial, they go through polling that highlights something that we've talked about quite a bit, that policies might sound good at first glance. About 6 in 10 adults, 62%, and likely voters, 60%, favor a state law that requires 100% of the state's electricity to come from renewable sources by 2045. It's not too hard to figure out why. Such a law sounds green, it sounds progressive, and in a state like California, such a combination can go very far without much scrutiny. This is an issue we talk about quite a bit. Things might sound good when they're just presented that way, but when you peel back some of the layers, some of the trade-offs that it would require, support starts to wane quite a bit. Then came the follow-up question, and suddenly you get a very different impression of where Californians actually stand. As described by the PPIC, when asked if they would be willing to pay more for electricity generated by renewable sources, such as solar or wind energy, majorities of adults and likely voters say they would not be willing. Indeed, just 40% of Californians said they were willing to pay more for electricity. As soon as the basic follow-up question was asked, the sizable majority in support of California's green agenda vanished. This is a dynamic that we've seen across the country. Normal Americans, even rank-and-file Democrats, are not nearly as radically progressive on climate issues as their elected representatives, whether they're in Washington, D.C. or in Sacramento. And Democrats are going to continue to find out just how unpopular the trade-offs they've tried to force on the American people are. If you like what you're seeing from the 10-Minute Drill, subscribe on YouTube. We have full episodes twice a week and clips every day going through the most important stories you care about.